Supreme Court is siding with the Trump administration in a case over the president's executive order restricting mail-in voting. The court's conservative majority did not decide the legality of the order, instead ruling states do not have the legal right to challenge it. The decision leaves room for additional court challenges that could further slow the order, and other similar cases have already been filed. The Postal Service laid out how it would implement the order last week, but time is running short to impose major changes, with some states beginning to send mail ballots to voters in just a few weeks or even days. Up next, new demonstrations surrounding the WNBA's transgender controversy. First, here's what some of our Fox affiliates.
You heard it first here. Nicole, what are your thoughts? I mean, is this a good thing?
This is a wonderful thing. It is not a complete victory, but it's a win for sure. This is us winning a battle in a much longer war about mail-in balloting. This gives us a win on several fronts, because this list that's going to be compiled of actual citizens of the United States, the Department of Homeland Security is going to cross-reference that with the list of people who voted. And if there are people who are not citizens who voted, the DOJ's got some work to do. And the DOJ is all on board. The U.S. Postal Service was called to Congress maybe 2 months ago. They've said in the last few weeks that they will not deliver ballots. They will follow the executive order. They will not deliver ballots unless their names are on that list, period. So this is a very, very good thing. States like Maryland and Virginia, almost all of New Hampshire, let's get all of them in there. California, you're in for a rude awakening.
Wow. Shelley, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I guess we got to say, let the bags of mail get thrown, because this is going to throw, I'm going to say, a wrench, if you will, into how business as usual is done. It's not going to happen anymore. And guess what? Because the ballots are being mailed out, I don't know, some as early as probably the next 2 weeks, certainly, states better get on its high gear. We might need to call Amazon in to deliver the mail. I don't know. I mean, we just might need to do that. I mean, Amazon is around the clock 24/7, it seems like. But this is going to put people in all kinds of tailspins. At the same time, it's going to, I'm going to say, mandate, if you will, a push for the state boards of election, the U.S. Postal Service, and the DHS as well, and the federal election boards in general, to get on the same page as far as who is on the voter rolls. Who are the people on the voter rolls? Americans, certainly. Those are the people who have the right to vote. So this is going to be a whole lot of scrambling, because for many years, they've been doing it all wrong, ass backwards.
Absolutely. Folks, you all know, if you guys who've been watching long enough know, I hate mail-in voting. I absolutely hate it. I think since we've been, started this massive mail-in voting, we've been waiting longer and longer for many of these election results. It has not helped. It has been really catapulted during COVID, the scamdemic, and I think it was by design, and it's been here to stay since. Well, what actually happened today? Okay, so the vote was 6-3. The three liberal justices, of course, dissented, and the court put on hold the Judge Tawani's June injunction that blocked the order in 23 mostly Democratic-led states, plus DC. So, as you mentioned, Nicole, it's a win, but it's not like it's still a lot of fuzzy stuff going on here. Again, as you mentioned, Shelley, the Postal Service has some of these states have already or about to start mailing out these mail-in votes, these mailing ballots. So DHS can basically move forward compiling states' citizenship lists in those 23 states. But the Postal Service still can't fully implement the only deliver ballots. They can't fully implement this only deliver ballots to people on the approved list rule nationwide for this election. Is that what you're hearing, Nicole?
No, what I heard is that the Postal Service is locked and ready to roll. They have been Again, they've been called to Capitol Hill several times, and it's a little different when they call a private citizen or someone who used to work in government to Capitol Hill. But when you're a part of the actual federal government and they call you to Capitol Hill and you're sitting in front of the Senate, it's a whole nother situation, because with a stroke of a pen, they can take every dollar away from your agency. So it's kind of like being called, like if you're a regular worker getting called into your CEO's office or your COO's office, either you're going to come out of there with an incredible pay raise or you're leaving with all your stuff in a box. It's not a good look when they call you in. And when I say they raked them across the coals, they left no stone unturned. They had a lot of issues with the Postal Service. They had a lot of issues, the way they work, the work they don't do, the argument about privatization of this organization, why the taxpayer should continue to fund their ineptitude. They had to dance for that purse. I mean, quite literally, they were like a $3 stripper and a $1 show. They were shaking what their mama gave them to keep that money. And one of the things was to finalize this rule. The rule is, unless the name is on that list, no mail-in ballots get mailed to that address through the U.S. Postal Service. Now, some of these blue states, they're kind of squirrely. They'll find another way to get a ballot there. Will the ballot be counted? Will the ballot be valid? Can we ensure that the ballot has not been pre-marked or, something funky happened with the ballot? We don't know.
What's up, everybody? This is Poppin' Politics. Get your merch. Are you a Poppin' Politics fan? Are you unapologetically American? Or not black, not white American? We got it all for you right here. Get your merch.
Get the classic shirt. Classic. Goes with everything, comes in a variety of colors. Smart, edgy, conservative, like us, like you. This is a great way to support the channel. Click the merch button.
There is no shame in being an American. Get your shirt today and be unapologetic about it. Get your shirt, wear it, and be a proud American.
You can get it all in t-shirts and hoodies. You can get it in stickers, on bags. You can get it all on our website, metroconservativemedia.com, or our YouTube page, Pop and Politics, and tag over to store. You can get your merch and show you're proud to be an American and support Pop and Politics.
So they have a very limited time. What do we got, like 61 days or 71 days before the election? They need to have these ballots in the mail at least 60 days before the election. So they've got 11 days to make it happen, 11 days to get it done. When I can tell you that the administration has been working on this well prior to this ruling. Trump gave the XO earlier in the year. So there's a lot of moving pieces, make no mistake. But there are also several other cases that are asking for the emergency petition from SCOTUS. So we'll see what happens. But it is definitely a win in two ways. One, it's got the whole nation talking about mail-in voting. Two, it's got Democrat heads cracking all over the internet, all over the mainstream media. They are up in arms. And anytime we can do that this close to an election, it's a win.
Yeah, let me say this. I actually used to work for the Postal Service for about 15 years. So I actually understand the Postal Service is not necessarily the fault. The Postal Service gets a listserv, if you will, that's downloaded to them, secure, particularly around voting, around the elections, a database that they use to mail out the ballots. The Postal Service does not address, if you will, the envelopes. The envelopes have to come pre-packaged or pre-printed, all of this stuff to do with the cost of the mailing. That's number one. Voting ballots or ballots in general are considered high priority, first class, right? So the issue with the post office primarily is getting the mail to the people on time so that they can vote in a timely manner. That's the main issue with the Postal Service. And also the address matching. But again, the Postal Service is only going to send out what the state sends to them, and it matches on that database of addresses that it comes, and that is programmed into the computers, and the machines will send it out and sort it and things like that. So that's the main issue with the Postal Service. So if the state does not have its list together and correct, the Postal Service, that's not the Postal Service's part. It really isn't. So the Postal Service is only going to mail out what the state, the onus and the ultimate responsibility falls on the state boards of election.
Now I'm
Absolutely.
still hearing you both say mail out. So we're still getting mailed ballots. So what's the difference here as far as this case is concerned?
The difference here is that the DHS, the address is basically who gets a ballot. The DHS and the state boards of election, along with the Federal Election Commission, the addresses have to match. Citizenship in some way or another is going to have to be verified before ballots just go out carte blanche. Okay. Once those lists are updated and corrected and people are removed, then the Postal Service can mail those out. That's the part the Postal Service play. And this is a secondary. I didn't see this anywhere, but my best guess, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm thinking incorrectly, but the secondary benefit to this plus is that when those lists are updated, the DHS can use those to match. Well, so-and-so came off the list from the original list. Let's go and see and make sure he or she is an actual citizen, that this is not a mistake. So the DHS can use that as I'm going to say a backdoor way to confirm and verify citizenship.
It's what the administration has been asking for from states, and many states have complied, with the exception of states that are liberal leaning, that are what we refer to as blue states. The blue states have done everything. They've thrown every hissy fit that they can think of. They've done everything they can to protect these illegal aliens, mostly because they make up a great majority of their voting base. So we've taken away their money, USAID and Act Blue. We've taken away any kind of middle ground. It was easy to paint them as all Democrat socialists because this is the way they're making their money and everybody's folding, bending a knee to these people. And now with this Supreme Court stay, this is going to make it even easier for us to see who is here illegally, what federal benefits they're taking, what state benefits they're taking, and get them the heck out of here. If you think we've stepped up our immigration enforcement lately, you've not seen anything once that list goes live. I'm telling you, if you're looking for a job, Homeland is the job you need, because they're going to be hiring people left and right to grab these folks and get them the heck out of here, especially the ones who were bold enough to vote in our elections.
Right. I mean, this is huge. And this is what I voted for. Folks, sound off in the chat. Is this what you voted for? Or do you think that President Trump went too far? Sound off in the chat. I want to see, we want to hear from you all. Sound off and say, this is what I voted for, or Trump's gone too far. I really want to see what are you guys thinking on this, because in my opinion, President Trump is basically
the shit's chess. It ain't checkers.
He's playing chess. All right. And this is going to have major ramifications for the midterms, I believe, and future elections. So love it, love it, love it. We were kind of down, as you all know, about the SAVE Act not passing, but this seems like it's, I'll take this. I'll take this.
Yeah, absolutely. A workaround. That's one thing you can say about this administration. They have not put all of their eggs in one basket. They have been up against the Democrat machine before, Trump 1.0. They kind of know what to expect. So there's a plan A through Z, through A1 through Z2 to get what we need to do. And it's really unfortunate because it does waste some time. And his term is very short. But prayerfully, we'll have another Republican president that we can get elected for 8 years, and we can really, really right the ship. That's what the prayer is.
Absolutely. Folks, come on in. As you come in, hit that like button. It helps to get this video out in front of a wider audience, and we appreciate the support. Also, your super chats. This is getting towards the end of the month. Can you believe it? Summer is almost over. We are about to say goodbye to August. We're walking into September, but we're still here. There's still news that's coming out, and we're going to be here to break it to you with our Patriot family right here. As you all know, we were building a community of God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people that value freedom. So stand with us if you haven't done so already, and subscribe so we can amplify this rallying call for freedom.
Can't get enough of Pop and Politics? The conversation doesn't have to end here. Check out our next episode.